the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Mayor is present tonight. Deputy Mayor,
I am present.
Councilmember Berman,
Present.
Councilmember Gacho, here. Councilmember Gremlin Fox,
Here.
Councilmember Sharp is excused. Councilmember Smiley, here. I believe we have a quorum. Is that correct? Very good. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight. City Manager Brown.
Mayor, I have no changes nor additions.
Any from the dais? Very good. Approval of minutes. We've got one set of minutes to approve tonight, and that's from the regular city council meeting scheduled on April 12th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Very good. Any discussion? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting scheduled on April 12th, 2022. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One letter of correspondence in tonight's packet, and that's a letter of resignation from Kaylee Fine from the DDA board. And I just want to thank Kaylee for all her hard work on that board. We're going to miss her. Next up, call to the public. The rules for the call to the public are as follows. The public shall address the council during call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence, and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reasoning for addressing the council, and all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public tonight? All right, seeing none, I'll close the first call to the public. City managers' reports. We have the departmental reports of March 2022. Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick?
I've got one on the wastewater, if Mr. John or whoever. Good evening, Ruben. In the report, you mentioned that the output of Tri-Bar is, there was an administrative
Compliance order was issued to them.
a compliance order. Exactly what does the compliance order do?
It basically puts them on the spotlight that they have to get the issue resolved, that there are no excuses, and if they fail to, then there will be fines imposed or shut down.
And weren't there carbon filtration
There
systems
were
added last week?
but that was the first administrative compliance order that was issued to them back in 2017, and that was for the PFAS issue. The second one was for the phosphorus issue, which is an unrelated compound which has been causing pass-through interference at the wastewater lab.
Okay.
So,
And they have so much time then to comply?
yes, and they have been making very good strides in it. And as mentioned in the report, we've been in compliance now for the last, we're coming up on the 5th month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? Councilmember Gacho.
Thank you. Related to water treatment as well. I know we've had the ongoing work over there, Tim. Phosphorus levels are still high, above the limits. When are we expecting those to come down? Is that after the clarifiers are redone, or?
Yeah, so we had hoped that that was going to help correct that. But we did discover over the last 5 months or so that it was soluble, non-reactive phosphorus, which non-reactive meaning that we cannot biologically treat it, and so we're having issues, and that's why they issued the notice of non-compliance, or the ACO, I mean, that Ruben was talking about. So we're hoping that within the next couple months we will get our discharges low enough to be back in compliance. What that number is an 1,800 pounds of phosphorus over a 12-month period, so it's a continuously rolling, moving average. And right now what, 2,100?
About 2,100.
So we're, as we're lowering it over the last 5 months, we've lowered it considerably. And with the help of Tri-Bar, that's what's going on. So we're hoping that by the end of June, that we'll be close anyway to our 18-month moving average.
I know we'd hoped like that, doing the oxidation ditches and the clarifiers and all the work that's been ongoing would help.
We do think that that'll help significantly as well, and we haven't quite finished that project yet either.
I noticed that we have some more that's coming up, but would you say that's the majority of the issue is us needing to finish that work, or is that influence from Tri-Bar?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Both and, I guess. And what the significant part now is the soluble, non-reactive phosphorus. But the biological treatment is an important factor of it, and that's what will, with the new upgrades that we're seeing, that will help that.
I know we got a notice from the state a while ago. Was there a fine associated with that? Because I remember it being
Yes.
related strictly to phosphorus.
Yes, there was a fine associated with it then, and they also, that was mostly due to the PFAS and the phosphorus issues simultaneously. And we are still in an administrative compliance order with the state for those upgrades. So we're working on those as well. So yeah, there are some other issues there.
Now, the phosphorus coming in from Tri-Bar, we've had similar discussions with like the fog material needing to do like a grease trap clean out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is there anything that can be done and billed to Tri-Bar to help speed up bringing the numbers down?
Yeah, so we have, over the last 2 years, we've increased the phosphorus surcharge that's imposed on them. And I don't know I forget what the last value was on that, but we do impose surcharges for that. And over the last, 2 years, we've increased that by $4 a pound.
Okay.
So it's, roughly almost $6 a pound for phosphorus being imposed on Tri-Bar right now.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All right. I got a motion and support to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. We have no unfinished business tonight, which moves us to the first item under new business, and that's a recommendation to approve a new Michigan Liquor Control Commission SDD off-premise retail license and a Sunday AM sales permit for Amy Atisha LLC of Wixom, Michigan. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
Thank you. And also, I want to recognize we do have some people representing the Atisha LLC here tonight, too. Public Safety Director Moore.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. An application came into the city clerk's office in March, and it was an application requesting this SDD, or specially designated distributors off-premise retail liquor license, with a Sunday AM sales permit request with it as well. The police department staff, we did our due diligence, did a background investigation, found no reason why this license and permit shouldn't issue. Assistant City Manager Benson, and the Chief Building Official, and our planning consultant also did some due diligence, and those 3 staff members also found no reason why this license and permit should not issue. This is what's commonly referred to as a quota license. Wixom, by population, currently has 6 of these quota licenses. This would be the sixth one issued. 5 are already spoken for.
Very good. Councilmember Garland Fox?
Thank you. So this is the last one that we have, that we'd be giving?
Currently, yes. Yes, I don't know if, based on the most recent census, if we will be getting more. Because of our population growth, I would anticipate we
I
might.
believe Assistant City Manager Benson? We
Yeah,
can't-
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Ron, but we have been, the new quota license based on the 2020 census have been distributed. That was in February of this year. It took them a little while to get to it. And this license is actually, it became available as a result of that. It's the same reason we also have 2 Class C quota liquor licenses available right now as well. I will say this also doesn't preclude another, let's say there's another store that would like to sell liquor in the city of Wixom for off-premise consumption. You can still transfer them in from another jurisdiction. That option still remains. You can go above your quota. You just can't issue new quota licenses above your quota. Does that make sense?
So if a business in a neighboring community were to go out of business and they have a liquor license that they would be willing to sell to somebody, they can buy that, bring it into Wixom. So there'd still be that opportunity. It's just easy, path of least resistance is a quota license.
Yeah, I believe that's what Longhorn did, correct?
That's correct. Longhorn was a transfer.
Okay, so if another business came into town that needed a liquor license?
They could get one.
This particular type of liquor license, correct.
Okay. And this is for a, what type of establishment is this?
It's the Exxon gas station.
Gas station.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And is it just for one Sunday, or is it just every Sunday? That's what I was trying to figure out.
It's an off-premise retail license with a every Sunday AM permit.
Okay. So I guess I'm having trouble with the off-premise. So can you just explain how that's going to work?
Well, you go in, you purchase it, and you leave with it. You do not consume it on-premise.
Oh, okay, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yes. The SDM, I believe, is the on-premise, where you go into a restaurant, a bar, a hotel lobby, and you consume on-premise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Berman and then Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ron, maybe my question isn't for you, and frankly, I don't necessarily have any problem with the request this evening, but given that the applicants were here, my question was regarding their property. I drove by it, and it looks like at one time they had a car wash there, and now the car wash is kind of looking run down, not used as a car wash anymore, and I was just curious if they had any plans to clean that up, just for it to look better.
Yep, come on up. Just state your name and address too for the record, please.
Andrew Atisha. I live at 35300 Woodward Avenue in Birmingham. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet you guys all, and I'd like to say thank you for your time in advance. So we do have that car wash there. Our plans were in talks right now with Motor City Washworks out here in Wixom. They're working on something right now, some concepts to open up another car wash there. And so once we kind of get moving around there, I'm sure it'll be brought to the city and all that stuff. We are planning to do some nice curb appeal, place the islands underneath the pump with nice stainless steel islands. Nice remodel inside the store. Just overall, just increase the look of the store. And if worst comes to worst, where our deal with Motor City doesn't work out, we do plan on converting it or restoring it for the better look, the better image that we're kind of shooting for. With the help of this license, it bring a lot of traffic in the store and help us kind of, for people to kind of want to be there, to kind of want to shop there, and it would help complement what we're kind of doing when we do something with the car wash. So it's all going to be within the next, maybe, I'd say planning will start immediately. But when you starting to see something, maybe in the next 6 months, you'll probably start seeing things getting done there, especially with the gas islands, because they're kind of rusted down and all of the such. So we do plan on making some nice improvements over there.
Okay. Thank you. That was my only concern, was just the way that it looked aesthetically.
Yeah, we know, and we're going to work on it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate hearing that from you directly.
No, thank you.
Just for the record, Bruce Rosenthal here with Mr. Cole, my son, representing Amy Letitia on this application. We put the materials together. If there's anything, and I thank you for this honorable council and the city officials for their time and energy tonight. Any questions, please feel free to ask.
I think we got one more from the deputy mayor.
My question is more for clarification. This uses up the last SDD license, that's quota-based, but that still leaves us the 2 Class C licenses.
That is
if we want to track someone downtown. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was clear on that. So. All right, thank you. That was it.
Very good. Any other questions? Excuse me, very good. All right, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve a new Michigan Liquor Control Commission SDD off-premise retail license and a Sunday AM sales permit for Amy Letitia LLC of Wixom, Michigan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. Congratulations, and anxious to see the improvements at your station. Thank you. New business number 2 is a recommendation to waive the competitive bid process and authorize the purchase of 17 cardiac science Power Heart G5 automated external defibrillators from Boundtree Medical LLC of Dublin, Ohio for a cost not to exceed $24,599.81 from the replacement AEDs account number 411-336-973.351. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support.
You're on again.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of council. 10 years ago, the city purchased 17 automated external defibrillators, or commonly referred to as AEDs. They went into the patrol vehicles, they went into the fire department apparatus, and then they were placed strategically around the city campus and some of our external buildings like the Department of Public Works. They've reached the end of their life. This was a budgeted purchase in the fire department's capital improvement plan. The $24,599.81 will purchase all 17 of them to go into the 7 patrol cars, the apparatus, and then we'll put them exactly where they currently are in the city buildings.
Any questions? Councilmember Smiley?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just, are the old ones good for anything? Are they
No.
any value?
No value.
It's bad.
It is. It is unfortunate, yes.
That's all. I'm just curious if we could get more, but thanks.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
That was my question.
That was my question, too. Any other questions? All right, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to waive the competitive bid process and authorize the purchase of 17 cardiac science Power Heart G5 automated external defibrillators from Boundtree Medical LLC of Dublin, Ohio for the cost of amount not to exceed $24,599.81 from the replacement AEDs account number 411-336-973.351. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the new business portion of tonight's meeting. Brings up the second call to the public. I will not read the rules for the call to the public again. All I'm saying, if anybody has anything on their mind and would like to come up, please do so at this time. Do we have anybody for the second call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close the second call to the public and move on to City Manager's comments. City Manager Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. From the City Manager's update, there's a notice that the Lions Club of Wixom Walled Lake will be soliciting donations on the street in Wixom on May 6th and 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the corner of Beck Road and Pontiac Trail. All proceeds collected will help visually impaired individuals as usual at the Lions Club, so we wanted to make sure you were aware of that and could help out with the support of that campaigned with that organization. It's been doing work in the area for many years. And then anniversaries, we had one, Robin Sneeringer, celebrating 10 years on May 14th. So congratulations to Robin for her service at the library. And the rest is just dates to remember relating to upcoming events. One thing I'll mention, we have our budget work sessions coming up on May 2nd and May 3rd. And don't show up at City Hall on May 2nd. It's at the fire station, so that's where we'll be on the 2nd. And then if the second date is necessary, we'll be back in our usual environment here in the A and B chambers here at the City Council.
Sure. Yeah.
It's even highlighted.
Indeed.
I totally would have.
I hope I show up to the right place, because I'm going to have it too.
Assistant City Manager Benson, anything tonight?
Just one main thing, I wanted to give a shout out to Oakland County Michigan Works, the Novi office, and the Lakes Area Chamber of Commerce for their work in partnering with the city to host the West Regional Oakland County Job Fair last week. We had a very good showing from employers and a decent turnout from job seekers. It is a competitive environment, but I thought that we had pretty good feedback from everyone involved, so I did want to make that shout out. Also, we're in the early stages of discussions, but there is likely a new tenant in the former Almeida restaurant in downtown. Looks like an El Camino Mexican food restaurant. Not sure when they will be online, but it is exciting to see how quickly that turned over and helping downtown maintain its incredibly low vacancy rate, something that we're very excited to see. So that's all I have for you.
All right, very good. Council comments. Councilmember Smiley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Almeida was one of my favorite restaurants. I was sorry to see that happen. I like Mexican too, though. There's some we have these plans to put these additional disc golf holes. Is that the right name for them? I don't play disc golf, but in our wooded areas at Gilbert Willis, I've had some residents express concern about the effects of these holes on the nature walk through the woods. I myself had these concerns, and I've walked through the paths with our DPW director Tim Sickma and fellow councilman Ian Gottschall. My initial concerns have been somewhat relieved. I believe it's fair to proceed on this somewhat trial basis with just some of the holes. I'd like to see us just do 4 holes, and I think that's what me and Tim and Keenan kind of thought would be a good step forward, as opposed to the additional 12 holes that are somewhat proposed. Then we'll see how it goes for adding more of them. I'd also like to see how maintenance of the affected areas is handled and how much is needed on a regular basis. I realize disc golf is popular, and I'm not trying to stand in the way of the fun. I just want us to be careful not to spoil, any enjoyment of the park, of the non-disc golf residents. Also, I'm not finished going through my budget packet, but I will, and I look forward to work with all of you next week on that worthwhile project every year. See you then.
Very good. Councilmember Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I'd just like to add is I'm looking forward to seeing the Longhorn Steakhouse open up this coming week. I believe it's Tuesday the 3rd, correct?
Tuesday the 3rd.
So nice to see that they're coming to the city and that it's opening this finally. So.
Councilmember Grenlund Fox.
I'd like to thank Kaylee Fine for her service to the DDA, as well as thank Robin Sneeringer for her service to the city.
Good. Councilmember Gottschall.
Thank you. I also wanted to touch on the disc golf layout and thank Mr. Sigma for being able to meet us out there to explain things, walk through things. As I kind of shared there, and I still kind of maintain it, as we're developing it, because it's not something that comes before council, I had shared about maintaining a green belt around whatever holes are put in. That way, hopefully, if you're walking through the woods, you can't tell that people are disc golfing, and if you're disc golfing, you can't tell people are walking through the woods. So even that relates to having the pathways between the holes stay within that section, not have people out and about on the walking trail necessarily. The other thing, kind of in preparation or relating to the budget study session coming up, I think we should also maybe have a holistic discussion about our millage rate that'll tie into the charter review discussion that'll be coming up in a few weeks. I know the deputy mayor's mentioned the base millage rate in the past. We've got the special millage rate. We've got the road rate that needs to be adjusted because we aren't keeping up with our obligations there. So I think maybe it might be useful if we sit down and look at our base rate as it relates to our capital improvement and all of our departments as well, because we've still got to work out whatever is going to happen at the fire department. And I don't feel like that's a discussion that we've had since I've been up here. It's more of, hey, if we need more money, we'll do this or that, but we haven't tied it all together, and I think that might be useful for all of us, hopefully. Other than that, thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Thank you, Mayor. I also attended the job fair last week. It was well attended by employers. It was amazing how many diverse businesses and industries we have in our city, and how common some of the needs are. Everything from warehouse workers and servers all the way up to the knowledge-based workers. So a lot of openings here. I see phase 2 trail construction starting to happen. It's great to see that kick off, and we see the barricades and you know, posts set for where to clear and everything, so that's exciting. Looking forward to seeing that come to fruition this summer. I'm looking forward to the budget sessions as well, and I think I talked to Mr. Sigma about the inventory list of getting that. He said he was working on it already. Thank you so much. It'll save us a lot of time next Monday and Tuesday with that sheet in front of us. And we won't have another meeting before Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in Wixom, without whom we would not be here. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you. And I just want to congratulate Robin Sneeringer on her work anniversary, and along with Councilmember Bremen, I know our residents are excited to have Longhorn Steakhouse open. They're looking forward to it, and so am I. And with that, I'll need a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, if I can interject one thing, just quickly. I was second.
I don't know. I didn't.
It's important.
Okay.
It's really important. The job fair commentary was made twice, and I wanted to pick up on that. Deputy Mayor Resnick mentioned the fact that we had a great turnout from would-be employers, and Drew mentioned that the turnout from would-be employees was only fair. That's a constant problem with these kind of events because, you know, as Drew mentioned, it's sort of similar groups of people chasing a small pool of would-be applicants. We have an issue of our own. 2 different groups of employees that we have openings for that we need to make sure we do everything we can to fill that spot. Monitors at the community center is one where we could use some help, as well as seasonal workers for the DPW. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned both of those in case anybody that happens to catch the video or isn't present tonight that has anybody that might be interested in those kind of jobs. You can go to our website to check it out. You can call the city manager's office and we'll walk you through what you need to do to apply. But those are 2 areas where we're feeling the effects of a dearth of applicants as well, and they're important positions for us, so I wanted to make sure to take the opportunity to put in a plug for our own openings. And I appreciate the indulgence.
I do have one more comment. The commentary about Longhorn reminded me, and I should have mentioned this, as an FYI to City Council and to the community, you should be expecting a invitation for the ribbon cutting for next week for Longhorn. We also have another ribbon cutting request from Great Lakes Krav Maga on Wixom Tech Drive. So they will be opening soon. So just a heads up, we'll send more information out about that event. Also, the Walled Lake Western High School groundbreaking event that's not city related, but as a whole, there's a lot of exciting things clearly going on and things opening up. So I just wanted to put that out here as well.
I'm excited because I went to Wall Lake Western, and only when Western was a new school, state of the art, the paint was still wet. So I'm excited to see what the next chapter they have for that school is.
They are upgrading the coal-fired power plant, so.
Are they? All right. Now, can I?
Yeah.
Okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Well, thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.